Hello, and welcome to the Art of Tantra. What is it? What is it really? What is it not? How to incorporate it into your life? How I found this, how it came into my life, how it changed every single aspect of my life to the point where now I want to tell the whole world about it in order to really move my mission to a world of more liberated people. Starting with you, I'm so glad you're here. It really means the world to me, so thank you. The Art of Tantra. How did it come into my life? In a way that was a little unprecedented, a little taboo, and a little not what you would expect. About 5 years ago now, I waltzed myself into a strip club in Boulder, and I saw the woman, and I saw how they were moving, and I saw the spell that they were able to cast with their bodies, with their movements, and the way that they were timed so precisely that I just couldn't help but notice the art of it. I was so entranced that I was like, I must work at this strip club. I must learn how to do this, clear my schedule, because this is what I'm going to be doing. Now, about 2 to 3 months in, after getting a deeper understanding of what was going on here and this energy that was moving, I started to recognize that as much as I felt like I had capacity to help people around their sexual traumas, around their blockages, and do deeper work in sexual healing, I recognized it wasn't the environment. The alcohol, the spirit, really clouded the headspace of people to the point where they kind of lost connection with their actual source energy, which I believe Tantra is trying to connect us deeper to. I moved my way out of there. I was like, this is not for me. This is not the place. I'm going to figure out how to do this somewhere else. I started doing one-on-one sessions with people in a room that I could curate, in a space where I had full control over, and that felt so good and deeply taught me little by little what the magic behind this word really means. We just blasted off in the Western world, and Tantra is everywhere, right? You see on the internet, Tantra this, Tantra training, Tantra connection, workshop. But what is it really? It's a deep lineage that came from the Eastern traditions. And the Tantra, pre-Neo-Tantra, Neo now, pre-Ancient Tantra, it wasn't about sex, it wasn't about sexuality at all. It was actually about this deep yogic principle of the energy outwork in our bodies at all times and how we could connect to it in hopes to live a more happy, joyous life. How we could connect to it to connect with others more deeply and to transcend our egos in sexual or sensual or deep, immersed, intimate experiences where we could then reconnect back with source. That's the goal. It's like yoga. It's bringing us back to the God in us and the creator outside. Whatever that means for you. I'm not really here to push beliefs. I think it's good for you to find your truth. Now, Neo-Tantra that has made its way to the Western world. What is it? It is an energy of working with mind, body, and spirit to come into deeper clarity. I almost feel like it's this spell that gets cast in our bodies where the pillars of all our centers, all our energy centers in our body are just like locked clear. There is a precision to it, but there's also an art. And how do we get to it? And how do we understand this energy so we can bring it into our more intimate encounters and transcend some of this ego that's still maybe coming in? When I say ego, when ego enters our sexual or sensual or intimate experiences, what does it do? Oh, we start performing. We start making it more about hoping the other person will like us, so then we can take some energy to feel good, to feel validated, to feel whole. But it's ego wholeness. It's not really wholeness. So knowing what kinds of things we're actually looking for is really helpful, because it allows us to then know what we're manifesting and then the energies that we're attracting and pulling in. Breath, sound, movement. It's that simple. Breath, sound, movement. Breathing. You can do this alone. You can do this with a partner. Yab Yum is one of my favorite positions, where they are straight-legged out, usually naked. If you really want to get intimate, that's really special. Straight-legged out, you sit straight-legged on them. Now you're together, you're facing, you're holding each other, and you're just breathing together in sync. A lot of times when I do this with clients, I will say, I'm going to follow your breath. Because you know what that's going to do for them? That's going to allow them to have all their energy. Oh, she's following my breath, so I must maintain a cadence. I must maintain a rhythm. The mind isn't going to like this. The ego is going to be like, this is boring. I want more dopamine. I want more pleasure. Just wait. Just wait. Sit tight. Hold the ego. It's almost like this is why I call my work a dojo, a training ground, right? What happens when you are fully able to meet the moment? And yes, desires may come, but also, are they taking you out of the moment and taking you out of the breath and the connection? Or are they bringing you deeper into it? Can you really sit with your desire? Ooh, as it fills your body with charge, can you sit and hold it and breathe deeper? That is the art of Tantra. And you know what's so sexy? Is a man that can hold their desires and breathe deeper into it. You know who I feel safe to lean into and surrender my body to? Is a man that can hold his desires and breathe more deeply into them. Now, breath, but sound. Sound is a key piece, because we can let go of so much density in our body through expressing sound. And if I'm scared of my sound, I'm probably scared of myself. I'm probably scared of my power. I'm probably scared of my capabilities and potentials. Sounding on the exhale. When I'm sitting across from somebody and I can feel their breath, and I can hear their primal sound, I feel them so much more present with me. I can feel them with me. I can feel that connection. I can feel the energy between our bodies moving. We're going into a way deeper energy than just a dopamine kick. We're going into ancient technology in our bodies, using sound, breath, and movement. Now what happens if we're cross-legged? I'm sitting on him. I'm following his breath. We're sounding. There's eye contact that's deep. The left eye, that's my, that is my left eye. Left eye to left eye. Left eye is the eye to God. Like I said, whatever that means for you, you pick what the creator is. Just please, please, please find something to find faith in, because it will make life a lot easier. Left eye, eye to the creator, in the other. So now we're linked, we're breathing together, we're sounding, we have direct eye contact. The eye is the portal to the soul, the portal to God. We can go so much more beyond these physical bodies when we are breathing and bringing in these ancient practices. Movement. Now we're circling. Now we're breathing. Now we're coming out of the place of the mind and into the place of the body. You cannot be in both the body and the mind at the same time. It is physiologically impossible. So the best way to get out of the mind, because God knows we are always in it. Welcome to modern America 2025, is through breath. Through sound. Through movement. Through coming into deeper presence with the moment. I've done this with clients. I've had people be like, oh my God, I want to stay in this trance state forever. What did you do to me? What kind of drug is this? It's not a drug. It's an ancient technology that our body has always had access to, but we forgot. We forgot how to awaken it. We have gotten so lost on our search for dopamine and pleasures and stimulation and boom, boom, boom that we have forgotten that our bodies can take us to God. Not even sexual. There's no penetration. There's no touching of the body. I do like to do this naked. I do think that is really beautiful, as it allows us to really like see and feel the other person in like raw nude flesh. There's something really beautiful about that. And also to let ourselves be revealed, right? Like I said, when the ego gets involved, we often want to like perform or get to these metrics or get to these pleasures, and a lot of that isn't actually fulfilling. It's fulfilling for the ego on a certain level, but yeah, that starts to dwindle out, and then the ego's just looking for more, 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 right? When we stop feeding that and we come back to retraining our bodies how to experience pleasure through our breath, through our sounding, through our movement, through revealing who we are without performing. Raw, naked, revealed, vulnerable, always worthy. We recognize how much of the bullshit programming that's running is running off of us believing that we're not worthy. Because there's so many reasons to. There's so many reasons to believe we're not worthy, but guess what? We kind of always were worthy, so it's just like an empty chase. It's just about remembering. It's not about getting to any place where we finally become worthy. It's actually about stepping back and remembering the innate worthiness within all of us, the innate creator within all of us, the innate lovability within all of us. And when we can just like sit there naked, raw, this is who I am, and be seen in that, and not have somebody run away out of terror, like we may think, creates something really beautiful. Creates a neurological reprogramming in the nervous system that says, oh, okay, I am safe to be seen. I am safe to be seen. And what happens when I know that I'm safe to be seen? I no longer need to perform to feel worthy of love. I no longer need to perform to feel worthy of validation and attention, because I don't actually need that anymore, because I know innately I'm worthy of love. That's a beautiful place to be. It's a really, really, really rare thing in this world. That's why it takes a lot of training. That's why it's not an easy thing. And like one of my favorite people says, thank God for the resistance, or else everybody would be doing it. Breath, sound, movement, stripping down the ego, creating spaces. Tantra is about creating spaces where we can awaken something different. Awaken that eros, that arousal, that excitement, but in a way that doesn't drain us, in a way that actually fuels us from the inside, in a way that allows us to get those needs for connection met, deep intimacy with others, without necessarily like needing to go bone, or like, you know, there's a deeper intimacy. And sometimes clients will come to me and they'll be like, oh, do you do escort work? And I'll be like, no, but I promise you my work is much more intimate, because it's not sex, and it's really not even focused on the sexuality aspect. It's focused on this aspect of Let's drop the masks and facades that we usually wear around intimacy, and let's just see each other as raw, naked forms and strip down all that excess that causes so much suffering, and welcome in the embodiment of who we are and what we're here to create and do and be in this world. That's why my particular school is called the Art of Tantra, because I truly do believe it is an art. It is an artistry. And I believe that we're all artists, even though you may not feel like an artist. It's like, do you define you being an artist by you being able to sing or dance or paint? Like, because let's just throw all that out. You're an artist by the way that you live, by the way that you see things, by the way that you think about things, by the way that you question things. It is unlike anybody else. That is what makes you so unique. That is your artistry. So you are an artist. And bringing that art and that tantric essence, we can get so much more out of life. We can milk desire. We can learn to work with these forces of charge, the tension and the release, and milk that space in between and create so much more pleasure in this cauldron than just like this like quick one hit off and done, you know? That's why I'm against vibrators, is because as much as I do love them, there's something about using a vibrator on my body and getting like from 0 to 100 in 3 minutes that just feels like a whoa rock to my system, because our bodies weren't meant for that. That's why I'm saying this breath, sound, movement. It's ancient technology, but it's like a training ground in the dojo compared to a world where there's pleasure accessible in 0 to 100 in 3 minutes. Are you still going to want to choose this? You know? When we can access catastrophic amounts of pleasure with a click of a button, are we still going to choose this? And for me personally, this 0 to 100 vibrator life led me to feeling way more empty. So once again, returning to this. You can even do it with self too, right? Just setting aside 15 minutes, set your alarm, you know, get on a sheepskin, put on some nice lighting, light a candle. Candles are my favorite. I think candles naturally evoke trance state because they're so primal, because they're so non-tech worlds, and there's something so witchy about candles. Lighting a candle, being by yourself, feeling yourself way more softly than you would, way more slowly, way more deeply, feeling yourself. 15 minutes on a timer. Breath, sound, movement, awakening this force in you that's usually dormant. What does it feel like? It's not about what it sounds like. It's not about what it looks like. It's about what it feels like, because we are here to feel. Thank you for tuning in. I'm literally so excited that you're here, and I just want to tell you, this is just the beginning. There is so much more to come at the School of Tantric Arts, because here we believe that Tantra is an art. It is an art form. Sensuality is an art form, and you are an artist by the way you walk through life. Oh, farewell for now.